I have to share what happened to me and my family this weekend, because if I save one person or help protect one other family, then it's worth it. We were at a popular tourist destination in Tennessee at a condo, and my family decided to go down to the indoor pool. Right before we went down, I asked my husband where the car keys were. He's like, it's not that far of a walk. We don't need them. It might be cool, so let's just drive the car. And he said, fine. Well, we get in the elevator, going down, realized one of the kids forgot some goggles. And so I said, that's fine. We'll get y'all in the car and I'll run back up. When we went to get off the elevator, there was a man like propped up at the elevator smoking, and my husband said, excuse me, and the man said, excuse me. But when my husband walked past, the look that he gave me, it was a smile. But if you're a woman, you know that look that kind of gives you that yuck feeling in the pit of your stomach. So I was really vigilant watching the kids, and I was like, hey, you know, make sure you got the little one, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, you know what, I'm coming with you. And I stepped out of the elevator. I was so focused on my kids that I didn't realize he had gotten in the elevator with me. But I was out at that point. And I went to the car, and the guy held the door open and said, oh, are you coming back? And I said, nope, I decided I didn't want it. I'm good. He said, you sure? I said, I'm good. And he left. So when he left, I decided to go back. I never mentioned having that feeling. Looked at the elevator, and when I got over to the elevator, I just had this sick feeling like, don't get in. Like, maybe he's there. And I thought, you're overreacting, but I'm not getting in the elevator because I trust my gut. So I took the stairs. I understand stairs are usually more dangerous, but here's the deal. These stairs were open, so I was like, my husband can see me. Run up the stairs real quick, run back down. I get up the stairs, and I hear him say, you okay? Same voice. And my heart kind of stops, but I never stopped moving. And I said, uh-huh, and kept going, like a little bit faster to get to the door, because I could hear that he was further, like down the hall or something, but I did not look around. And then he kept saying, hello, hello. And I was like, oh my God, he's looking for me. He doesn't know where I am. So I was silent, and I got in the condo, locked and bolted it, called my husband, and he thought that he just said something weird in the elevator. He didn't realize that this guy was following me. But either way, he was like, well, I can't leave the kids, so just stay on the phone with me and come out. So I looked out the peephole, and I didn't see anybody, but I knew that there was like a public laundry to the right of our room. There was key access, but still there. So like in my head, I'm thinking, get away from the door, you know, away from anywhere somebody could grab you and pull you in, and just bolt to the stairs. So that's what I did, and I pulled the door to really tight where nobody could go back into our condo, and started walking. And when I did, he was at the top of the stairs, where had I taken the elevator, he would have been between me and the only exit. And he said, you good? And I never stopped moving. I walked a little faster. I had Ryan on this phone, and this gentleman was not a gentleman. I have a lot of words, but none that are appropriate. But anyway, this man was on the right of me, looking down, and he said, you good? I said, yeah. And I said, Ryan. And I started speeding up, and I was at the stairs by this point, and he said, are you sure? With the sickest smile. And I took off running, and he said a name, but I don't know what that name was, but I feel confident that it was to whoever was with him. And I ran as fast as I could, and I got down to the car, and I was trying to explain to my husband what happened, and he was like, well, maybe he was just drunk, or maybe he, was just messing with you. I said, no, you don't understand this feeling in my gut. Like something was wrong. And he's still trying to kind of calm down because the kids are in the car. We don't want to scare them too bad. And my little girl, she said, what was he, Mama? Like a kidnapper except for grown-ups? Was he a grown-up napper? I said, no, Daddy's probably right. So we go on swimming. It's obvious where we're going because we were all in bathing suits. Yes, there were several pools, but only one open at that moment. It was the indoor pool. We went on to the pool. Lots of people there. Seems pretty safe. We let the kids swim. We leave. Ryan, thankfully, is hypervigilant because of my experience that I'd already had. And this guy is in the trees across the way, like by the parking deck that we would have to drive back into. He says, kids, buckle up. And I said, oh, you see my friend? He said, yeah. Out to try to help one of the girls who couldn't get her seatbelt because he was there, but he was a safe walking distance. He couldn't get to me without me getting back in the car at the time. And I knew we were leaving. As soon as I got out and turned my back, Ryan said he made some motion, like signal, indicating our car. And immediately Ryan said to us, like he told me that after the fact, because he said to us, get in the car now. I get in the car. We fly out. And I was like, what are we going to do? Because at this point I'm in shock. And I said, we're wet. We've got to get the kids' clothes. We've got to find somewhere else to stay. Like, we can't go back. Fight or flight. I'm full flight mode. By the grace of God, to literally pass a police officer, not 2 seconds after that came out of our mouth. And we flag him down, tell him what happened. He goes back, lights on, not sirens, not creating a huge scene, but looks everywhere. Of course, his mere presence made the snake slink back into wherever he came from. Get back in our condo, search it, make sure nobody was in there, lock and barricade doors, and get very little sleep. But wait, everybody's out and about to try to leave again. And of course, Ryan went and fixed the luggage hitch on the car, and we all left as a family after he had gotten everything ready. But once we got completely out of town, he mentioned that somebody had taken the pins and unscrewed the luggage hitch, that it was impossible for it to be an accident. And so I fully believe, had we tried to leave early or late that night, that whoever it was watching, and they were going to try a third time. And I don't know if they just wanted me or if they wanted me and my babies. But for the grace of God, me listening to my gut, me being observant, and me not stopping ever and choosing not to be polite, because all I can explain is that last time when he made the comment about, are you sure? It reminded me of an animal playing with its food. And I'm so grateful that we lived to tell the story.